So I find myself walking down this road through the middle of the desert at night. The only reason I knew it was the desert was there was no moon in the sky. There were no city lights, but I could smell the smell of dirt and those kinds of plants and vegetation that doesn't require a lot of water. I couldn't hear any sounds of cars or anything, so I kind of figured I was walking through the desert. I could sort of maybe see the horizon because the night was very black and there were only a few stars. And to the right, I saw this small light flickering after I had walked about 20 minutes. And so I decided to walk off of the pavement and onto the dirt. And I'm walking across the dirt towards this flickering light, wondering if I'm going to get bit by a rattlesnake or something. And I get up to this flickering light, and it's this old guy sitting by a campfire. And he's staring into the campfire, and he's holding something in his hand. And he looks up at me and says, "You don't need to be very afraid. You don't need to worry a lot. Because even though all of society has collapsed, even though all of the trucks that carry food from the farms to the supermarkets have all been destroyed and the crops have been burned, there's no reason to feel fear. Because somebody will come along and fix everything." And I looked at him, and as I started walking closer and he started talking to me, I noticed he was holding a coat hanger in his hand and holding it over the fire, but there was nothing on the coat hanger. There was no food, and he was staring at it like it was some kind of food. When I stood there watching him, he took the coat hanger out of the fire, put it into his mouth, and bit on it like he was biting on food, but he seared his tongue and his lips on the coat hanger because it was red hot since it was in the fire. And I went, holy fuck, dude. So I left and I started walking off, and I kind of forgot where I was because walking towards that flickering campfire, I kind of lost my night vision and I didn't know where I was. So I kind of wandered, and I came across another flickering light. And what I thought were these children dancing around the fire, because from a distance they looked like these miniature ballerinas, because they looked like they were dancing around on their tippy toes like ballerinas do. And I thought, wow, that's pretty good. Those kids must have been practicing that for a long time. But when I got close, I noticed they weren't children at all. They were like these little imp creatures, these little devils or something. And they didn't have any feet. All they had were these bones sticking out the bottom of their legs. I guess their feet have been chopped off, and the bones have been kind of sanded around to like a rounded surface on the bottom. And they were just kind of hobbling around the fire on these nubs that looked like feet from a distance. And when I got close, they all stopped and they turned and they looked at me, and they started like hobbling after me. And I was like, fuck, and I turned and I ran. Fuck.